A lot has been said about Last Jedi, and we're hearing more now that's coming out on DVD. The central problem many people have in this movie has a very high rank and purple hair. However, many may seem to hate her for the wrong reasons. Others love her for equally wrong reasons. Holdo is a badly written character. It's not due to sexism or social justice message or anything like that. It's just bad writing. The thing about Holdo is that her character arc is actually unique in Star Wars. It's one I actually like. The basic concept is that you're supposed to hate her. Throughout the movie, you see her through Poe's eyes, and you're supposed to despise her actions, think little to nothing of her, and support Poe's mutiny. Then, in the twist at the end, she was right all along. This 180-degree twist comes in her scene with Leia at the end, where it's shown that the two of them are actually quite similar. It's reminiscent of John Dickinson's role from 1776. You are supposed to dislike him throughout, but at the end, he resigns Congress to join the army. Shows that he was genuinely concerned that the revolution was impossible. It frames his prior actions as understandable, noble even. Even though it was a bit outside the character they had made on stage, it was supported by it having actually happened. Holdo doesn't have that luxury. The problem is the writers did not make this twist believable. Holdo's actions are not indicative of someone who calmly knew what she was doing the entire time. She came across as a non-communicative idiot who was so bad at managing her crew's morale that she allowed a mutiny to occur at a critical moment. Her rousing speech was irrelevant and tangential. Her disregard of Poe was needless. Her negligence to throw him in the brig after his outburst on the bridge was nonsensical. Even her wardrobe is odd, given that she doesn't bother with a uniform. Attempts to salvage her character as a brilliant tactician via the comics have actually only made her actions in the movie seem worse. Let's not keep about how this makes Poe seem like an idiot. He doesn't try to work through the chain of command to get answers that he should reasonably need, especially as he's a department head who knows nothing of the plan minutes before he's supposed to execute it. So, how do we fix Holdo? Well, it's not her actress. I actually can't think of anything wrong with Laura Dern's performance. In fact, I don't think there's anything else she could have done, given the script. I lay this blame squarely on the scriptwriter and director. Unlike how it should have ended in so many other groups, the solution is not to bring back Akbar and kick Holdo to the curb. While I would have loved the good Admiral more than most, the story would be completely different as a result. The audience would believe the old calamari had a plan and could execute it no matter what else happened. A soldier who has held his stars longer than Poe had been alive, and who we've walked beside through multiple movies and countless books, is not someone the audience would get behind rebelling against. The minimum necessary change is much smaller. If I was the writer, I would not have introduced Holdo as the Vice Admiral who was a captain of a corvette, but with a different title entirely. Senator. Not a ship captain, but a diplomat. That guarded tone would be stupidity, but wrong genre savvy, as she is used to keeping her plans close due to court intrigue. It would also give Poe a ready-made excuse not to trust her. After all, everyone hates politicians. Congresspeople is second only to car salesmen in Gallup's least trusted professions poll. It also explains how Poe escaped discipline for what really should have been court-martial. She wasn't comfortable enforcing military justice because she's not military. The rest of the plot proceeds as normal, perhaps with some politician jokes thrown in. Then, at the end, a brief confession to Leia about how she should have done some things differently would have sealed it. No other changes necessary. Well, on that plotline at least. I'm not touching the casino with a 50-foot vibro axe. This would also fit the theme of failure, as Holdo really was as out of her depth as she seemed. It was her pride and secrecy for understandable, if wrong, reasons that caused all the tragedy. It would have shown that she could have been a useful person in a different position or a different time, but that she couldn't be the hero the Resistance needed in their darkest hour. Instead, the plot tries to make you think she was the only character who didn't fail at all. That's something that isn't viable with a character we've seen. So, that's how I'd fix Holdo. Please let me know what you think. Thanks for listening, y'all.